Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my very first TBR. If you don't know what that means, it's booktube for to be read, and it's basically an entire list of books that I plan on reading throughout the next few months. It changes a lot because sometimes I'll DNF a book, sometimes I'll finish it really quickly and I'll add to it really fast. So yeah, I plan on updating it frequently. But feel free to hit the notification button down below and hit the bell so you can be notified of when I upload. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. So the first book that I'm going to start off with is one that the cover caught my eye in the library, and it's called The Darkest Star by Jennifer Armentrout. And it's about a 17-year-old girl named Evie who's been living on the earth after it's been invaded by aliens called the Luxon. And she apparently has this connection with this guy named Luke, because why wouldn't you? And yeah, so that's the first book. I'm really excited to give it a try. It seems like it's going to have everything that I like in a book, and then I will let you guys know what I thought of it when I'm done. So the next book is by Cassie West. It's called Love, Life, and the List. And I just finished a book by Cassie West that it's called By Your Side, and it was adorable. So I'm really excited to give this one a shot. The main girl in the other book had anxiety, and so it dealt with a lot of issues that I am familiar with. So I just really appreciate it and I enjoyed it. So I'm excited to read it. Seems like it's going to be like a really fluffy, slight drama, like contemporary teen book. The book follows 17-year-old Abby Turner, whose mother has an anxiety issue, and she's had a crush on her friend Cooper for many years, and it's basically about her summer where she makes a list to try and do different things. Alright, so recently I've been watching A Clockwork Reader, and if you watch A Clockwork Reader, you know that her favorite author is Victoria Schwab. So I read A Darker Shade of Magic, and it was fantastic. So I'm really excited to read more by Victoria Schwab. If you're not sure, Victoria Schwab is what she goes by when she writes teen books, and V.E. Schwab is what she goes by when she writes adult books. But I just really enjoyed the writing in that last one. So this one's called The Savage Song. So I'm not going to give too much away. Basically, this book deals with monsters, a girl named Kate who wants to be as tough as her father, and a boy named August who is a monster. And I think it deals with a lot of like philosophical questions. So I'm just really excited to give this one a read and see if it makes me think as deep as I hope it will. Recently, I binge watched Big Little Lies. That made me want to read books by Leanne Moriarty. But I didn't know if I wanted to start with Big Little Lies. I heard that this book was actually really good from a friend. It's called What Alice Forgot, and it follows the story of a lady who one day she is 29, pregnant with her first child, and then she wakes up and she is 10 years older in a gym, divorced, and has no idea what's going on and why her family's not wanting to be crazy in touch with her. I am really excited to give this one a shot. It's not something I would naturally read, but it seems like it's got a good, interesting plot so far, and I'm excited to see what her writing style is. I feel like I need that classic shot of like drinking a beverage from a cute mug, and this cute mug has a little cat in there and it says, "You had me at meow." So hopefully that was cute. So the next book is 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. I loved Claudia Gray's other novels. Evernight, I think it was Evernight, but it dealt with vampires, and I actually got it when it was an ARC back when I was a library helper, and I love that book. I thought it was so cute, and the main girl's name was Bianca, and I love the name Bianca because of 10 Things I Hate About You. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Anyway, I got to meet Claudia Gray at Comic-Con a couple years ago, and she signed my copy of Evernight, which was amazing. So now I'm really excited to try reading 1,000 Pieces of You. So this story deals with the protagonist Marguerite, and it deals with going through different dimensions. I really don't know much besides that. I know she has a love interest, and I love the way Claudia Gray writes her love interest. I haven't heard the best things about this book, like watching other booktubers, but I'm still excited to give it a try. Everyone's reading style is different, and hopefully I'm going to really enjoy it. So the next book's by Megan Matson. It's called Since You've Been Gone, and it follows a girl whose best friend has just disappeared. So she decides to make a list of different things she's going to do over the summer and take a lot of different chances. I think it's it's a teen contemporary novel, and I'm really excited to see where it takes me. I personally really enjoy contemporary if it's written well. I love Sarah Dessen's books, and those are some of my favorite contemporary, to be honest, but I'm really excited to give this one a shot. It was recommended to me by a friend, and I think I'm gonna enjoy it. At least I enjoy the cover, and it's paperback, so it's got two things in the right direction. The next book is an adult fantasy novel by V.E. Schwab, and it's called I wanted to say A Darker Shade of Magic. It's called A Gathering of Shadows, and this is the sequel to A Darker Shade of Magic, so I have to read it, and I'm really excited about where it goes. The strange thing for me is I don't always feel the need to read, like, to continually read series or trilogies. If I love the book, I will already have had all of the trilogies bought and, like, queued up to read. But it takes a lot for me to commit to a full series or a full trilogy. I have to really enjoy what I'm reading enough to continue on with the characters, because I just find that the characters that I would rather make up like a happy ending for the characters than continually read about how unhappy they are. But this series is one that I'm actually excited to continue because I really loved that first book, and I love Kel. So the next one is another Claudia Gray book. It's called Defy the Stars. It's about a girl who is a soldier. Yeah, I'm right. She's a soldier. And then a boy who is a machine. And basically, I think they have some sort of love interest, and it's fantasy. I'm really excited to give this one a shot and see if I like it. Because more than likely, if I've liked one of Claudia Gray's books, I'm at least going to like one of these. That's at least what my theory is. The next one is called Renegades. I checked it out of the library because of Emma Books. She really loves Renegades, and so far I've agreed with a lot of her different reviews, so I'm excited to give this one a shot. It's one of Marissa Meyer's books. Marissa Meyer also writes the Lunar Chronicles, if you haven't read those. I personally haven't read the Lunar Chronicles, but I liked the cover art of this book. I liked the thickness of it. It seemed like something that I could easily get into. The Renegades is a high fantasy book that follows a group called the Renegades who are like taking over the world or dealing with the world. I don't know a whole lot because I haven't read it. And then a girl named Nova who is against the Renegades. And I think there's some sort of like love interest with her and Aiden. At least that's what I read, Aiden or Adrian. So I am really excited to give this one a shot and see if it hooks me the same way that it hooked her. So the next book I'm going to read is Bellwether by Susanna Kearsley. I'm sure I said that wrong. It's a period drama set in 1759, and it deals with like a wounded soldier, and it has romance in it. It's like it follows the history of this house and like what happened in it, and everyone thinks that the love story ended up badly, but you can tell for yourself, and I mostly got it for the cover. I think we can all agree that that's how you do it. So I don't read a whole lot of period dramas, but after reading Discovery of Witches, I really want to keep reading more that has to do with witches. The next one is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I have never read a book by Brandon Sanderson, but I keep hearing that if you like high fantasy, to read some of his books. I was going to start with Mistborn, but I'm not able to get my hands on it yet. So I'm going to start with this one, which is a teen fantasy book, not the adult fantasy book, but it should be a good bridge into high fantasy. So the story follows Spencer, where her home has been attacked and she's now going, I think, to pilot school. So I don't think this book has a huge primary romance. That might be the only reason why why it's harder for me to get into than what other books are, because usually I just jump on the romance and I'm like, okay, well, let's go. But I'm really excited to give this one a shot. There have been plenty of books that didn't have a major romance that I have loved just as much, if not more. So I'm really excited to see what this one has in store for me. The next book is The Price Guide to the Occult by Leslie Walton. And this is from the same author of The Strange and Beautiful Life of Ava Lavender. That might not be the right name, but I know from watching a Clockwork Reader's review that that book had a lot of really beautiful and lyrical writing, so I'm hoping that that's what this one will offer too, because those are the type of books that I really loved. And I mean, look at this cover. Like, oh my god, it's so cool, and it's got like a texture to it. Like, I can't on this cover. So yeah, I'm excited to see what this book has in store. It doesn't really have a whole lot like on the back or the front, and it doesn't have anything in the middle like to explain what's going on with it, but it's about a touristy island, and there is some sort of like ominous plant that's sprouting from it, and so people are trying to figure out what's going on. So I'll let you know what I think of this book. Hopefully it's got a lot of really interesting prose and stuff to it. But either way, like, I'm just gonna have fun staring at it. The next one is Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth, and she is the same writer as the Divergent series. Now, the issues I had with the Divergent series are actually usually the opposite of what most people had with it. I loved Divergent. That was my favorite book. I loved Triss and Divergent. Well, even if I didn't agree with like her choices and her decisions, I liked her as a character and I really enjoyed the writing. That was actually one of the books that I read when I read it, and I didn't love it just for the romance. So I'm excited to read Carve the Mark and see if she can create that same kind of like imagination, like creativity space for me that Divergent did. I didn't like any of the other books. So I'm wondering if maybe me and Veronica Roth are just gonna like really click when it comes to that first book. And if so, like I can read the first books in series for years. As I've already told you guys, I don't really necessarily feel like I need to read the entire series when I start one, so I ain't got no problems with it. But I'm really excited to see what happens in this book. So I don't know a whole lot about it, but it's a high fantasy book, and it deals with two main characters, obviously the boy and the girl. And I think it follows like the leader of a tyrant and essentially like a dystopian era type of book. But it seems like it's gonna be really cool. And again, look at this cover. Like, I am all for being the person that picks the books because of the covers. But that's like the one signature you have to get your audience. So if you're not gonna like put on a good cover, then like what's the point? And if you are able to get like a really cool cover, then you've just put, you know, that extra attention to detail in the book for me to pick it out. So I'm gonna pick it up because of that. So yeah, so there you have it. Those are all of the books on my TBR at the moment. I'm probably going to add to it, take away from it. I'm going to film a couple books that I didn't love here soon, and then I've got a couple more book reviews in my midst. But please let me know if there's any other type of video that you'd like me to record. Please comment down below and hit that notification bell so you can see my uploads when I upload. And thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great day. Bye.